Hi, Take the Leap listeners. Thanks for putting Ashlyn and I in your ears again today. Before we jump into this episode, we wanted to let you know that we've created a fun freebie just for you. If you've been thinking about launching your side gig or small business, we've got a free video training just for that called 9 Steps to Launch Your Business. You can sign up for that video now at www.taketheleap-today.com/webinar to get instant access. You'll also receive 2 free modules from our signature Take the Leap course. Thanks, and now back to the episode.
Take the Leap is the podcast where we get real about the roller coaster that is entrepreneurship and life. Sure, some folks make running a business look like a walk in the park, but let's be honest, it's more like a wild ride through a theme park with a lot of unexpected twists and turns.
Join us, your co-hosts, Ashlan
and Tory,
as we spill the beans on our own real-life experiences and shine a spotlight on some amazing guests. From the highs of success stories to the lows of epic failures. And hey, we'll even throw in some cringe-worthy, laugh-out-loud, embarrassing moments for good measure.
So buckle up and tune in every Tuesday and Thursday for a dose of raw, unfiltered truth about what it's really like to chase your dreams and build a business.
Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just dipping your toes into the startup world, we've got something for everyone. Even if it's just to make you think, wow, I'm glad I didn't do what they did.
Welcome back to Take the Leap, everyone. Tori, how are you today?
I'm doing all right, Ashlyn. Thank you so much for asking. I always feel silly because I know like we always like talk like right before this. So then we're like, hi.
Hi, I know. That's true. Y'all, we've been on for the last 30 minutes.
I know. We're always gabbing. Always gabbing. No, but it's been like a weird, I didn't tell you this. It's been a weird week because my son, like, I don't know if he has allergies or if he's coming down with something mild, but our sleep is usually interrupted like once a night on a regular basis anyway. But then when he is not comfortable at night, he wants everyone in the house to know about it.
Oh.
And it becomes everybody's problem. And so last night he got into bed with us and he was just like, he was moving around. He was talking a little bit in his sleep. He was trying to get comfortable because he was a little bit congested. And then he just kept kicking me. Like, and he's now started adding words. So like when he kicks me or he like moves, like pushes his dad or something, he'll say, "Move, mama, move, daddy." So like at 1 a.m, I just feel like this hand and he's like, "Move, mama." And I'm like, you know what, kid? This is my bed.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So my husband finally moved to the couch at one point. He's like, "I can't do it anymore."
Oh. Yeah.
So it's been like a rough sleeping week. But other than that, we are all good. We are all still healthy. So I think it is just allergies or something because none of us have gotten sick. So
yeah. I feel like that.
How are you?
You guys are doing the season change right now too. So it probably.
Yeah.
I would
have
allergies.
It was like really, really nice. And then it was really shitty. And then and now it's like really nice again. So yeah, it's like the ups and downs over in the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah. I was glad it wasn't like so rainy while I was there recently. That was really kind of nice. But
it was so good to see you.
I know. I mean, I still can't believe I've been up every other month in this year. Some planned, some unplanned visits, but yeah. No,
I have benefited from it. So
it's true. It's true. Yeah. Well, and it was so nice to rent a car last time I was there and not have to rely on like Lyfts and Ubers and taxis and
but that adds up quickly.
It did. Yeah. I was just like, when I started looking at it, I was just like, if I drive more than 3 or 4 places like with this thing, then I will have made, basically saved money. And it was nice because then I got to see Mary up in Vancouver and then not be on a timetable. Like I love my in-laws, but they're always like, when are you going to need to go to the airport and do this? And, they're trying to help me save money, but I'm like, I like to be on my own timetable of doing things. And yeah, I had brunch with my mom on Sunday morning before my flight. And she was like, you want to come over to my house and hang out? And I was like, no, I think I just want to like return the car and like go read in the airport for a little bit. Or actually, I ended up editing some episodes of Take the Leap from the airport as well. So yeah, it was nice to just have that calm, relaxing time before hopping on a plane. And I think my flight back ended up only being like an hour and 37 minutes. Like, I don't know
Oh my
if this guy was
gosh.
like flooring it on the gas or something, but we went and ate at the Screen Door, which was like a very, very heavy breakfast. We had a banana Foster French toast and
Delightful.
the fried chicken and waffle and praline bacon, because she had never been there before. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get you like the 3 best things at the Screen Door. And so, yeah, I ended up taking a nap on the plane. And then I woke up and I was like, oh, shit, we're already over the Sierra Nevada. It's like this. So it was only like a half hour left. And I slept, like took a 1 hour nap and only had like a half an hour left.
That's so nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. I like when I can like sleep for most of a plane ride as well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But yeah, it feels like we chatted with him so long ago, but today's recap is about our episode with Charles Howard.
Yes.
And one of the things that I wanted to bring up first that we had talked about with him was that, like, even during your downtimes or when projects are delayed, that it's essential to keep building infrastructure, developing systems, and creating materials. And this is like ringing in my head as I think about, like, I have a nonprofit client who is closing at the end of the week next week, which is just very like, it's sad, but okay in a lot of ways. Like, they have taken 6 months to intentionally close, really take care of their people. Like, their CEO and founder has been giving like shout outs about every single person who was on the team on LinkedIn and like basically singing their praises. And I've been seeing a lot of like love exchanged on LinkedIn between the entire team. But with them kind of closing, and then I had told you about another client of mine that's shifting their business model. I'm going to have a lot of downtime come June. And this point is like ringing loudly in my head that, like, don't let downtime, be a time that you don't work on your own business and you don't set up those systems. And I've been working with Veronica Jans. She has a operations toolkit that I've been like working on SOPs and all these different things during this downtime, and trying not to basically be like, ooh, vacation. It's really a time to work. So yeah, sorry. I feel like I've been talking a lot. What do you?
No, that's great. That's great. And I know you're just telling me about that, and it seems like you're going to have like a little bit of some downtime. And I think it's the perfect time to do stuff like this. And I've had like a little bit of a slow year as well. And I have been like every month I've been trying to focus on something different. So like 1 month it was on content, the next month it was on like my process, my systems, and like what are my offerings and what do I want to add to this, package. And then another month it'll be something different. And so I think the good thing to remember in the back of your head too, is that, when you have downtime and you're working on this, it's really easy to like come up with all these like really grand plans and ideas of like how you want things to function. And I don't know how it works for you, but for me, in the past, anytime I've had a slow period, like I feel like I'm either one extreme or the other. Like I'm never somewhere in the middle. And so I would be slow for a couple months, and then I would get, I would land another big client, and then 5 other clients would come out of the woodwork and need some stuff. And then all of a sudden I'd be like really, really busy again. And I'm speaking that for myself, that's going to happen again soon, because I know it will. And so while I'm also creating these systems and like this content and stuff like that, I'm always trying to think in the back of my head, it's not going to be this way for long. So what are some things I can do that will still be sustainable then, but also what kind of work can I do ahead of time so that when I'm over here, I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
So those are the things that I'm telling myself right now during my little bit of a slow period.
Yeah, I think you've done a great job of like batch creating content and getting stuff out there. And, you know, I think
Thank you.
it has been looking really good. Just in case y'all don't know, listeners, Tori does all of our social media graphics.
Thank you.
Which I appreciate, because that is not my strong suit. But yeah, that is really, really awesome that you've been doing that. And yeah, I'm hoping to keep on that with mine, or at least plan out ahead. Like, yeah, I think I mentioned it in a previous episode, but if I didn't, that batch creation process is something that I need to go back to and really be efficient with my time as well, coming up. Yeah.
And I'm also like a strong believer in when you're doing something creative, like if you have a day where you're in that creative flow and you're like, okay, I have to stop to get to the next project, or I have it on my schedule to do this thing. Like, I'm a firm believer in like moving things around. If you're in a flow,
Mhm.
keep going with the
Yeah.
batching. Like if you can, obviously if you have a meeting or, you know, things like that, you might have to move stuff around. But I just feel like for me anyway, creativity also, my energy for it can drain out
Mhm.
if I'm like burning myself out or just do it like trying to turn out stuff over and over again. And so if I'm in like that flow where I'm just like really feeling it and I have a ton of ideas or things are coming out easily for me, I try to just take advantage of those time blocks and just keep going. If I finish all the content I wanted to finish for this one client here, that I'm like, okay, well, like I know I need to do social for this other client. Like, why don't I just bust out next month's content, or why don't I bust out content for myself? Like, I'm feeling inspired. So
Nice. Yeah. Awesome. Yes, batch processing really does help when you can
really
be in the
does.
flow. Awesome. Another point that Charles made was that he was building a company that empowers problem solvers regardless of traditional qualifications like education, and that is crucial for fostering innovation. So I think that is something that many entrepreneurs forget, you know, when they first get started, is that you can choose to build beyond yourself. Like, you don't need to be a solopreneur forever. And it harkens me back to the episode that we had with Aman, where he was talking about having like a team and being able to build out something that was really valuable beyond himself, and you know, not necessarily being about money. But I've been taking a class with Nell Taylor called Rethinking HR, and we haven't gotten to the module yet. It's actually, I think it's coming up next week, on equitable hiring practices, and it's definitely something that I've been thinking a lot more of as we have more people who are not really following traditional education paths. Like, just because you don't have a degree does not mean that you are not smart, that you are not capable, that you can't do things. And I feel like a lot of times, like, many of us go into entrepreneurship because we are creative and we don't necessarily follow the beat of the traditional, workplace corporate drum. So I would challenge people to consider what skill sets people have, and like, so much of my experience in like marketing and digital marketing is like self-taught, trial and error, don't touch the fire that burns kind of things. And that's the way you can stay adaptable as a business, is by being willing to have that growth mindset and learn on the go, and not really lean on, traditionally this is how things work, because as we know right now in our country, things aren't working just the same way that they always have. There's a lot of uncertainty out there in the world right now.
Absolutely. And I think you just made such a good point. Like, at the end of the day, like most things can be learned. Most like jobs can be learned like on the job through training, through experience. You get that experience, you get that knowledge by learning and practicing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there are things that you can't teach. Like I am a strong believer in like if you have never had a customer service job before, chances are you're probably not going to be as understanding in those situations. And so I think it's the same thing. I think most people should at least once in their life have a customer service related job, whether that's, working in a restaurant or a call center or a customer service, anything where you're
Customer
public
facing.
facing. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
customer facing. And I think that's like the kind of skill set that like is another kind of skill set that like is more important to have than 5 years of experience plus a degree in something.
Mm-hmm.
And just like he said, problem solving. If you can't figure out like how to move forward, or if you are afraid to make decisions, or things like that, in a lot of jobs that's not super helpful.
Yeah.
But you could have all the experience on paper, but if it's just not a great personality fit, then it's not going to work, right? So I think barring like if you're going to be a surgeon or something like that, obviously there are fields that require specific training and things like that, and like for the love of God, we don't want that to change. Like that is very important. Like I would really like a surgeon working on me to know what they're doing and to have that proper training. But for the most part, a lot of us don't go into a very specialized field like that. And so any skill set can be learned, but I think it's some of those skills that are just the most important if you naturally have them or you've been honing in on them. And I think you're right. It's like when you get out of college and you're looking for a job and they're like, hey, entry level position, but needs 10 years of experience. You're like, what? How?
Where was it? Yeah.
Like, what?
So I started working when I was 12. Yeah.
It's the most ridiculous thing. And like, even to this day, like I'll peruse like job postings just for the heck of it, just to see like, am I charging like enough, or is this kind of the same skill set that other marketers have? Even like mid to high level like it's so weird to me, like to how entry level positions have the same requirements as like mid to high level. It's like you need to have a certain number of experience in this specific thing, like social media. And the social media is the one that makes me laugh hysterically. It's like 10 plus years of social media marketing experience. Like it has been around that long, but you would be hard pressed to find a group of people who've had that much experience in that specific field and who are still relevant, or who still track like trends that are happening today. Like that really narrows your group of people, right? If you're like, you have to have known social media for 10 plus years, and not including your Facebook and MySpace account that you had in college, right? Like in that marketing field for that. Like it just makes me laugh. It just makes me laugh.
It is very comical. Yeah. Or like I feel like the tools that they want you to learn, like because I'm like,
must know all of these email marketing things. I'm like, ma'am, there's a new one that comes out every year.
Yeah.
They're all the same. They're easy to figure out. Like there's no reason to put, sorry, like I'm going on a weird tangent now,
okay.
But there is no reason to say like you have to know this exact software in order to get hired. Like, are you kidding me? Like, really?
Yeah. I would rather have somebody who knows how to find a good freaking Google video that will show them how to do it. Like I've worked with so many people who are like, I couldn't figure that out. How'd you figure that out? And I was like, it took me 2 minutes to find a good video
Google.
on YouTube or Google that walked me through step by step. I usually try to find like a video and a step by step like things so that I can kind of compare and contrast. And then all of those things have the date when it was published on them. So like if you can't rely on something, you can't rely on something that's like from 5 years ago. MailChimp definitely doesn't look anything like it used to 5 years ago. But yeah, no, I mean, I feel like, the school of Google and YouTube, like I've learned so much just from that and from trial and error. And I feel like the best, well, no shade to anybody who isn't trying to have a growth mindset, but I feel like the best and most adaptable businesses are the ones who are willing to put the time and energy into Googling some shit and learning on
figuring
the go.
it out.
Yeah. And just figuring
Well, and that's what entrepreneurs do in general anyway. So if you think about it, if you're running your own business, like you didn't know any of that shit when you opened your own business, right? Yeah. Like you didn't know what paperwork you needed. You didn't know like what the industry was like. Like you were learning as you went. So then if you're going to turn around and hire people and as a startup or a small business, and then demand that they have like,
an unreasonable amount of experience.
You're just continuing the cycle. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're in a position to hire people, I strongly encourage you to think about those things and like kind of start to break that cycle and create this culture of hiring people for people, right? And kind of including that human element in it more. And that's how we're going to beat this capitalistic, awful society that we live in.
Totally. Also, shameless plug for our course that can teach you a lot of things so you don't have to Google
it. Yes. Go to Take the Leap today. Nope. Take the leap. Today.com and you'll see the tab, the course on there, and it'll give you more information.
Yep.
We also have like a free webinar on there. So check out that freebie while you're at it. Yeah. We've got lots of resources out there for new entrepreneurs and seasoned ones as well, because things change.
Yeah. People who are coming into it, it's, I would say we are still valid even if you're in your first 5 years. That's
for sure.
That's it's the stuff that you forget as you go along.
Absolutely. And it's like all the mistakes we made.
Oh, totally.
Like, and we're like, okay, these are the mistakes we made. So learn from us.
Absolutely.
I love it.
All right. Last thing from this episode, although there was, I mean, if you haven't listened to it, I strongly recommend. Charles was great to have on. But he talked about how entrepreneurs should embrace the ups and downs and understand that success comes from resilience, innovation, and adaptability. Whoa, I can read. Focus on building a good culture and providing flexible, rewarding opportunities for employees. So a lot to unpack there. I think everybody should know there's going to be ups and downs in entrepreneurship. There's ups and downs for corporations. Like we are going through a time right now as a society where people are getting laid off. Maybe there's going to be a recession. Have they said it that it is officially? I don't think that they have said we are in one.
We are though.
I know. Yeah. Well, I feel like, okay, without getting like too political, I feel like once people start saying it, I feel like we put ourselves into one because we have scared people enough to stop spending money. And so like there's the folks who unfortunately do not have don't have money to spend. But then if you are kind of more well off, you also just stop spending money because you're just like, I don't know what's going to happen. And so, that I feel like it's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Half the time.
Okay. So then we're fine. Everyone's fine. We're rich. We're wealthy.
Yeah.
We're throwing money like crazy. Like, let's go.
John and I were just talking. I was telling, sometimes I remember like Instagram videos that I've seen. And sometimes I sent them to him and sometimes I don't. There was one that came up on my feed and it was insanely funny. It was like, they called it the poverty potluck. And I'm sorry if this is triggering for folks because I know that this is not like, we're not saying like poverty is serious and it is not necessarily this. This is what they called it. And basically it was all the things that they were served as children because they were not,
Oh, I've
like,
seen this.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so like one was like, it was just like, I think it was bow tie pasta and like a can of tomatoes. And then like, probably the grossest thing that I saw on there, he made bologna sandwiches with grape jelly and Kraft singles cheese. I was like, I don't know if I would
Rough.
ever eat that, but
Put
yes, it was
those
like
together. Yeah.
you know, and that is something that I always think about. It's just like, wow, I think about like some of the food, like, you know, top ramen and when I was younger,
Lots of rice and
lots of rice,
beans.
yes, lots of rice and beans. But when I was younger, I really liked banana flavored baby food because it's just bananas and it
Interesting.
was sweet and it was like, I had some friends who like freaked out about it and I was like, dude, you have to try it. It's like 40 cents a jar. Like, and you know, and I was like, I wanted a dessert thing. And I did have a friend try it and they're like, damn, that's actually pretty good. And I was like, yeah, it's sugary banana, like pudding essentially. But
yeah.
So
I mean, you wouldn't give a baby something that an adult couldn't eat, right?
Eat.
Like,
yeah. Oh my God. They were acting like I was like straight up eating like dog food. And I'm like, it's not dog food. I was like, it's a very cheap dessert when you can't afford even like a pudding, you know, like
it's a good idea.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, having been through that recently, I mean, he's a toddler now. It's no longer 40 cents a thing.
Oh no. Yeah. This was back in like 2000 and 2008.
Yeah.
Like right out of college. Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, you know, the struggle meals.
Yes, exactly.
Struggle meals.
Exactly.
And this one's online a lot, and we loved this as a kid. It was the toast with sugar and cinnamon.
Oh yes, yes,
that one. My mom would make like she would just slice potato, like thin slices of potatoes, and then just melt cheese on it. And like they were like potato nachos.
Nice.
And then nachos were just chips and cheese that were melted.
And cheese, yep.
And when we were feeling real spicy, we'd put some salsa on it, you know, like, but most part it was just chips and cheese.
Yep. I subsisted on peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for a good amount of time too. Those,
aren't they always so much better though when somebody makes one for you? What like explain that to me. Why?
Know.
How? Why?
Yeah.
When somebody makes me one, it's delicious. When I make it myself, I'm like, I am eating the worst thing in the world. I don't know why. Like, I feel the same way about salad.
Mm-hmm.
If I buy a salad at a restaurant, I'm like, this is delicious. If I make a salad at home, I'm like, ugh, I'm so hungry.
I don't know what it is. Because yes, you were totally true. You were totally right about that. Because I'm like, sometimes I look at them when I get them at a restaurant and I'm like, dude, I could totally fucking do this. And then I'm like, I don't know if it's like the dressing or like the things that I throw in it. But yeah, it just, or maybe it's like the plating. But yeah, no, it never is good. Because I just use like, whenever I make salad at home, it's like the same container I would normally like do like ramen in. Basically, it's like a stainless steel bowl that I've just like thrown stuff into. So yeah, maybe that's something to do with it.
That's part of it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, too funny. All right. Are we ready to move on to our favorite end of solo episode segment for our wins and do betters?
Absolutely. So I'm going to start off strong with my win here. This week I'm saying that I ate well because instead of going to Taco Bell last night, like I really wanted to, I made tacos in my kitchen with fresh ingredients. And so I'm calling that a health win this week. Nice. Do I want Taco Bell tonight? Yes. Is there meat marinating in the fridge? Also, yes. So I probably won't. But damn, that sounds so good right now.
Yeah. It's true.
What's your win?
It's easy.
I know, it's so easy. What is your win for the week?
So I sent out a few proposals earlier this year and people finally got back to me. So I did sign on one new website project and 2 new retainer clients that are starting this week. So yeah, I'm very, very excited.
I'm so
to have
excited for
those.
you.
Yeah, yeah. And I had another couple of like really good discovery calls too that I'm hoping to hear back about. So yeah, things are going well, all things considered.
I'm really excited. I'm really excited for you. And I know you're like transitioning from a
Yeah.
couple of clients, and so I'm glad that that came through.
Yeah.
And this is also a fun reminder to our listeners that, you know, sometimes success looks like signing on new clients and like having really good months and like, you know, taking on new projects. Other times it looks like having or not having Taco Bell, because you can't predict these things.
It's true.
And so
It's true.
take your wins. Take your wins when you get them.
Yes. And I feel like a lot of times, like, I'm so glad we do this, because a lot of times we'll just like brush it off or never tell anybody. Like it's been fun to say them in the moment with you. And then what is your do better this week?
My do better, I've said this before, and I'm having a week, so I'm going to say it again. My do better is to have more patience.
Mhm.
I have a toddler. I feel like if you have a toddler too, I probably don't need to explain. But I need more patience.
Yeah, I felt like when I was around you guys last week, you and Justin are very patient with him.
Oh, it's because we had an audience.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But also, I think last week we were having an okay week, and that we had like a rough weekend and a rough week with him,
Mhm.
like after that. So I think it's just, and to be fair, he wasn't feeling like 100%, so that was part of it. So
Yeah.
he's a lot.
I did quite enjoy that he kept pointing that he wanted hugs from you, but not from me. That was, he knows his boundaries very, very well.
He wanted, he's really good at setting boundaries.
Yeah.
Following boundaries from other people, not so much. But he is a boundary setting king, and we love this for him. Mm-hmm. And let's just hope that the goal here is that he respects other people's boundaries in the future. Yeah. He is still a toddler though, so I'm giving him a little slack, but yeah, we we'll get there.
Absolutely.
Oh, Daniel.
Yeah.
He makes me happy.
Yeah. I did download. I need to give you the little snippet that we recorded of him last week too.
That's right. That's cute. Right. That was really cute.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll play the audio version of that for people.
Yes. Yeah.
People
absolutely.
will like that. Well, what's your do better for the week?
I need to not work so late. So I've been working later and going to bed at like all odd hours. So I really want to get back into the groove of reading before bed and going to bed at a consistent bedtime, because it wrecks me in the mornings being inconsistent with that. And just the the screen time too, I'm sure messes with my sleep schedule as well. So yeah. Well, with that, we've just wrapped up another episode of the Take the Leap podcast. If you have suggestions or recommendations for a guest, feel free to put that into our website, or if you have any listener feedback to share with us, you can always send us a DM on Instagram or email us at aloha@taketheleap-today.com. And we will see you next time.
Bye. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for listening to the Take the Leap podcast. We hope you found useful takeaways you can apply to your entrepreneurial journey. Subscribe so you don't miss future episodes, and keep in touch and follow us on Instagram. If you have business questions, shoot us a direct message or leave us a comment. We'll try to cover it in an upcoming episode. And visit our website, taketheleap-today.com, for more resources like our online course that accompanies this podcast.